carry the mop, just for the ops. Come to the foreigns, only hot tops. Come to the coop, only the drop. If I got the drop, I ain't doing no sermon, niggas ain't learning. The money I'm earning, these bitches I'm curving, bullets be burning. Cause my gun is German, got chicken like churches.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? You know what I mean, what's up? What's happening? This reaction right here is from my partner, Yusuf. Yo, Yusuf, sorry it took me so long, my G. I did your reaction. I put it under one of my other videos. I don't know if you watched it, so I'm just going to break this down for you like a math problem. I did your reaction. It was around 40 minutes, you know what I mean, after I got done. So my computer didn't upload it. I don't want you to think I ain't doing like I'm ignoring you. I did it yesterday. You know what I mean? I was going to put it out, but my computer didn't take it, and I had to party, so I just couldn't do it over. You know what I mean? So I'm getting to you right now, my nigga. Let's go. You requested Michael Jackson, Primetime, full interview. You know what I mean? 1995. Let's get into it, man. You know what's up with the what's up. You my guy, so you know I got you, my nigga. I appreciate you being a part of my channel, Yusuf. From the heart, man. I mean that shit. Let's go. Ha-ha. Let's go, Michael. Let's go. Sorry for the hold up, homie. You know Michael's my guy. Let's go. Ace 20. You know what's up. Okay. All right. My nigga just jumped from the stage. Yeah, Michael.
For 3 decades, the music, the dance, the king of pop, the billion-dollar entertainer.
It ain't too much. Right, Michael took this.
And then, at the height of his success, came the charges, the police investigation, and a superstar, Shaken, goes into hiding. Tonight, Michael Jackson, the interview we've been waiting for, live. And for the first time, the woman he married. 2 legendary families united. Home videos of the wedding that startled the world. Lisa Marie Presley, Michael Jackson, center stage, and on the record.
Go, Michael. Woo!
Make no mistake about it, for all that fantasy and flash, Michael Jackson is serious business. Ask anyone in this town.
That's right.
Ask the people at Sony Music who say his next album and videos alone could bring in close to $1 billion worldwide.
Billion, my nigga.
So it's not hard to understand why the shockwave of those allegations 2 years ago registered like the last earthquake out here. Why everyone wants to know, is he really on his way back? This is the old MGM set at Sony Pictures where all those dreams were put on film. It seemed like a good place to begin this hour because whatever you think about Michael Jackson, you cannot ignore what he achieved. A little boy with all those dreams in his voice.
Mm-hmm. I treated you.
It's the once upon a time story that we all know by heart. Out of this tiny house in Gary, Indiana, from among the 9 children of a crane worker at the steel yards, came the raw talent that rocked Motown. This is the audition, which Michael Jackson charms, glides, and spins his family
As
into
you see
stardom.
the spin, my nigga. Yo, shit, hold up.
Fairy tale.
My boy had that spin since he was young, my nigga. So you know he mastered it. He could do this 5 times in a row. Woo. That nigga nice, man. Let's go. I had to go back a little bit.
His next album and videos alone could bring in close to $1 billion worldwide. So it's not hard to understand why the shockwave of those allegations 2 years ago registered like the last earthquake out here.
That's right.
Why everyone wants to know, is he really on his way back? This is the old MGM set at Sony Pictures where all those dreams were put on film. It seemed like a good place to begin this hour because whatever you think about Michael Jackson, you cannot ignore what he achieved. A little boy with all those dreams in his voice.
I treated you.
It's the once upon a time story that we all know by heart. Out of this tiny house in Gary, Indiana, from among the 9 children of a crane worker at the steel yards, came the raw talent that rocked Motown. This is the audition. Michael Jackson charms, glides, and spins his family into stardom. But we've also heard the other side of this fairy tale. The brothers claim that their father drove them brutally, beat them. This is the man Michael said made him nauseous with fear.
I didn't know anything about him being sick, but regurgitating. But if he did regurgitate it, he regurgitated all the way to the bank.
I mean, I don't like Joe Jackson, you know what I mean? Because he was, you know what I mean? I don't like him, but rest in peace to the homeboy. I don't wish that on no one. You understand what I'm saying? But I just don't like him. Back to the video, though. Let's go!
But on stage, the little boy felt invulnerable, wielding the voice that would enchant for the next 25 years. Even as the singer radically changed. We sat down a week and a half ago to talk only about music. We looked at the Ed Sullivan Show, 1970. He remembers exactly what he was thinking.
That the whole world was like watching. My father used to always say, don't mess up, you know, and I felt I knew every part. And if something went wrong, I felt I could cover it.
But by adolescence, a private price was being paid. He said it was agony when people stared, clearly wishing that he was still that cute little boy. At the time, his mother worried that he was withdrawing.
Michael is quiet now. When he was younger, he wasn't that quiet. But I don't know. I think the stage might have done that to him.
Being around everyday people and stuff, I feel strange. I do. Shy? Yeah.
1979, 2020. He told Sylvia Chase people won't let him be just normal.
They won't talk to me like they will the next door neighbor.
But somehow Jackson used isolation to sharpen his sense of what was exotic and new. By 1983, the 25th anniversary of Motown, another Michael Jackson emerged. His own creation, from the music to the muscle to the magic. It was a triumph, but he still sees only what he missed.
I wanted to do the 5 spins and go on the toes and freeze and hold it and stay there. You know, and I didn't, but they didn't know.
It's the devil's bargain, a perfectionist trying to give the audience more, a chameleon whose changes are more and more extreme, making you wonder if it's all still part of his plan or, like Faust, his prison. As even today, Jackson obsesses over every word, every move, every sound. Listen. What you're hearing is not an electric drum machine. It's a hardwired, 48-track, digitally mastered human.
What I mean, so I'll take that and use that as the main foundation for the track and build all the sounds around that. You know what I'm saying?
So, whatever the future, the music will always be inside the man who says soon he'll be back where he's most at home.
Are you really anxious to get back on stage?
I miss the fans. Yeah, that's my chance to get to really, you know, see them and feel their presence.
Cause it got, gotta skip this. Oh, it's the ad. Gotta get rid of that. I'm sorry. Gotta go back a little bit. It fucked up a little bit. You know what I mean? I had to go back. I need to hear that song. I'm sorry. Let's go.
So, whatever the future, the music will always be inside the man who says soon he'll be back where he's most at home.
Are you really anxious to get back on stage?
I miss the fans. Yeah, that's my chance to get to really, you know, see them and feel their presence. do a concert and it's like 100,000 people out there. And you see a sea of people singing all in unison, holding up candles, and you go, wow. You know, it just really makes your heart happy, and that's what really makes you feel like everything's okay.
But as we said 2 years ago, that shy man faced some grave accusations that he had molested a young boy.
Not true.
As the headlines raged, a lot of people wondered if what had seemed merely eccentric was in fact something sinister. And the children always around him, were they lured by a seducer? The lingering question was Michael Jackson guilty, or had he been put through 2 years of unequaled
Bitch, you
injustice
know he's not guilty.
and hell?
For parents, a warning, it's an adult topic. This was the allegation. A 12-year-old boy said that over a period of 4 months, while repeatedly sleeping alone in the same bed with Michael Jackson, there was kissing, then fondling. The boy said he had protested, but Jackson had wept, saying it was all right, other boys had done it with him. That was the allegation. But for the prosecution, there were problems. The boy had spoken at the urging of his father, who was also seeking custody. And the father had talked to the Jackson camp about money, $20 million, according to the Jackson team. This is that father talking to someone he knew on tape.
If I go through with this, I win big time. There's no way that I lose.
But whatever the circumstances of the disclosure, authorities say they believed the boy's story. The investigation of Michael Jackson was set in motion and within days hit the airwaves.
Tonight, a police investigation into allegations that Michael Jackson sexually abused a young boy.
The pop star Michael Jackson under investigation for alleged child abuse.
It was a tabloid feeding frenzy as people who worked for Jackson shopped stories, all claiming titillating knowledge of what they called his special friends. And even when some of Jackson's young friends tried to defend him, they raised other troubling questions. This an 11-year-old boy, Brett Barnes, talking to a TV interviewer.
When you'd have sleepovers and you'd stay in the same room or the same bed, did that seem unusual to you at all?
No, because I slept on one side of the bed, he slept on the other, and that was that.
After several months of headlines, Jackson, on tour and then reportedly in treatment for addiction to painkillers, returned to the United States and submitted to a series of police photographs. Sources say to see if they matched his accuser's description of identifying marks on what authorities called his private parts.
That's crazy, man.
December 22nd, Jackson went public.
Man. Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent. I have been forced to submit to a dehumanizing and humiliating examination by the Santa Barbara County Sheriff Department and the Los Angeles Police Department earlier this week. They served a search warrant on me which allowed them to view and photograph my body, including my penis, my buttocks, my lower torso, thighs, and any other area that they wanted.
1 month later, January 25th, 1994, Michael Jackson settled the civil suit filed by his young accuser. How much? Reportedly in the neighborhood of $15 to $20 million. After the settlement, the boy refused to testify in the criminal case, so after 13 months of headlines, the prosecutors said it was over.
We must decline prosecution involving Mr. Jackson.
They had no other children who would come forward in court, and none of the employees who claimed to have seen questionable things had a story that could be confirmed by a child. To this day, a number of investigators remain convinced that glamour and money are so attractive, they can produce loyalty and silence. While Jackson's team insists that it ended because nothing happened in the first place.
And with me, of course, Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley. Welcome to Primetime. Glad you're here. It occurs to me, looking at the two of you, I have got to start by asking how this marriage took place, how it began. Let me guess that it was not over miniature golf and a hot dog someplace. When did it start? When was the dating?
What fucking type of question is that? You know what I mean?
Well, we first met. She was 7 years old, and I was 17. This was in Las Vegas. She used to come and see my show all the time. We had the only family show on the Strip. It was the Jackson 5. And she used to come as a little girl and sit right up front. She came quite often. She came with a lot of bodyguards.
And had you stayed in touch over all these years?
Sure. And then she'd come backstage. Then I'd, talk and say hi. And then she'd come again. And I thought she was sweet and loving. And I always hoped I'd see her again.
And who first talked about marriage?
We didn't stay in touch.
We didn't stay in touch after that, no.
He had, go ahead. You want to say what happened
No,
later
you can
with
say.
contact?
You have a good memory.
No, you said you were going to say it.
Our first argument here on this hour. Who proposed? I mean, how did marriage actually get discussed?
Well, at first, this is what happened. When she was 18, I used to tell my lawyer, John Branca, do you know Lisa Marie Presley? He'd go, well, I represent her mother. I go, well, can you get in touch with her? Because I think she's really cute. And he'd laugh every time. He goes, I'll do my best. That's what he'd say. Then he'd come back. I said, well, did you find out? He said, no, there's nothing. So I would worry him about this all the time. The next thing I noticed, there's a picture on a magazine cover where she's married, which really tore me to pieces. And then, really did, because I felt that was supposed to be me. I really did.
And what was the countdown to your marriage? Tell me who said the word marriage first.
I did.
He did.
I did.
When? Where?
When?
On
Where?
the telephone.
On the telephone.
He first asked me.
When?
We were dating now for 4 months. Right? 4 months?
I don't remember.
Well, anyway, we were spending a lot of time together. I don't know how I didn't manage to get in the press because we weren't hiding it. I was in Las Vegas. We were in Neverland. We were everywhere. I went to Atlanta. We were in bookstores. We were not hiding it.
And you said yes right away?
I was separated for 4 months, and he said, what would you do if I asked you to marry me? And I said, I would.
Big I would, though. You were really enthusiastic.
I have to ask you this because I can only imagine the number of lawyers involved in a prenuptial agreement between these two fortunes. Is there one? A careful one?
Business.
Well, we've worked out things and we've signed certain things, but of course, that's very confidential.
We made agreements prior. Yes.
Nosy.
As you know, the reaction to this marriage, and I know you feel strongly about it, but the reaction to this marriage has been across the spectrum, everything from astonishment to delight to suspicion. That it was somehow too convenient. Lisa, did you ask Michael about the...
She's too fucking nosy, man. Hold on, let me skip this, y'all. All right.
Charges. Did the two of you talk about the impact to suspicion? That it was somehow too convenient. Lisa, did you ask Michael about the charges? Did the two of you talk about the impact of the marriage on the allegations?
Absolutely not. He called. I was in touch with him through the whole process of this charges going on. I was talking to him when he disappeared. I was actually supposed to go to San Juan, Puerto Rico when he left and disappeared, and I got a call that he wasn't going to be there, and I was actually part of the whole thing with him, but talking to him on the phone. So I didn't.
Did you say to him, are they true?
No, I didn't. No, I actually did not.
No, nigga, why are you so nosy?
I want to take a minute here, and I'm going to come back to the
marriage. Sorry. He went on and on and on about it, so I didn't really have to say, are the allegations true?
That's right. That's right.
On the phone,
That's right.
And
over and over
just
again.
Constant, yeah.
Well, because I know that you've wanted to express similar sentiments for a long time, I want to ask a few things about the charges, but first I want to establish for the viewers here, there are no ground rules. You have said to me you are not afraid of any questions, so I wanted that understood by everybody before we proceed. I think I want to begin
That's a setup question.
by making sure that the terms are clear. You have said that you would never harm a child. I want to be specific as I can. Did you ever, as this young boy said you did you ever sexually engage, fondle, have sexual contact with this child or any other child?
Never, ever. I could never harm a child or anyone. It's not in my heart. It's not who I am. And it's not what I'm not even interested in that.
And what do you think should be done to someone who does that?
What you think,
to someone who does that, what I think it should be done, gee, I think they need help in some kind of way, you know?
How about the police photographs, though? How was there enough information from this boy about those kinds of things?
The police photographs that they took of me,
Yes.
there was nothing that matched me to those charges.
There was nothing. There was nothing that concurred.
That's why I'm sitting here
There was
talking to you
nothing.
today. There was not one iota of information that was found that could connect me.
So when we've
to
heard
these
that there was
charges.
a marking of some kind,
no markings.
No markings.
No.
Why did you?
Why am I
settle-
still here then?
You're not going to ask me about that, are you? Sorry, about the markings.
You can volunteer.
No, I'm just. The point is that when that finally got concluded that there was no matchup, then it was printed this big, as opposed to how big it was, what the matchup was supposed to be.
It didn't work. It isn't so. The
Why
whole
did
thing
you
is a
settle
lie.
the case then? Why did you settle the case? And it looks to everyone as if you paid a huge amount of money.
Most of that's
to get
folklore.
silence.
I talked to my lawyers and I said, can you guarantee me that justice will prevail? And they said, Michael, we cannot guarantee you that a judge or a jury will do anything. And with that, I was like catatonic. I was outraged.
How much money
Totally
was it?
outraged. So what I said, I have got to do something to get out from under this nightmare. All these lies and all these people coming forward to get paid and these tabloid shows, just lies. So what I did, we got together again with my advisors and they advised me, it was hands down, a unanimous decision, resolve the case. This could be something that could go on for 7 years.
How much money
said,
was
let's get it behind us.
What you mean? How much
Can
money
you
was
say
it,
how
bitch?
much? It's not what the tabloids have printed. It's not all this crazy outlandish money. No, it's not at all. I mean, the terms of the agreement are very confidential.
He's been barred to discuss it. The
specific
terms,
You know, so
but
it's
specific amounts.
the idea is just isn't fair. What they put me through, because there wasn't one piece of information that says I did that. And anyway, they turned my room upside down, went through all my books, all my videotapes, all my private things, and they found nothing that can say Michael Jackson did this. Nothing.
But let me ask you
to
a
this
couple
day,
of questions.
nothing. Still nothing.
That's right, let her know,
nothing.
Nothing. I got nothing.
All right, bitch.
As you may or may not know, we have called everyone we can call. We have checked everything we can check. We have gone and tried to see if what we heard before is in fact the case. I want to ask you about two things. These reports that we read over and over again, that in your rooms they found photographs of young boys. Not of
young
adults.
boys, just children, all kind of girls and everything.
Then that they found photographs, books, of young boys who were undressed.
No.
Didn't happen.
No, not that I know of, unless people sent me things that I haven't opened. People know my love for children. So they send me books from all over the world, from South America, from Germany, from Italy, from Sweden.
So if people say that they found those things, if there's an indication, let them come forward, let them produce them, right?
Yeah, because I get all you wouldn't believe the amounts of mail that I get. And if you say to somebody, you know, if I let the fans know I love Charlie Chaplin, I'll be swarmed in Charlie Chaplin paraphernalia. But if I say I love children, which I do, they swarm me with everything pertaining to kids.
Any other settlements in process now or previously with children making these kinds of claims? We have heard that there is one, not a case that the prosecutors would bring in court, but that once again you're talking about shelling out.
No, that's not true. No, it's not true. I think I've heard everything is fine and there are no others.
Mm-hmm. I guess, let me ask this, and I'm trying to think how to phrase it, though.
Don't answer then, bitch.
I can hear out in the country people saying, and you've been cleared of all the charges, we want to make that clear.
That's right.
People saying, look, here is a man who is surrounded by things that children love. Here is a man who spent an inordinate amount of time with these young boys.
That's right.
What is a 36-year-old man doing sleeping with a 12-year-old boy, or a series of them?
Right. Okay, when you say boys, it's not just boys, and I've never invited just boys to come in my room. Come on, that's ridiculous.
Michael.
That's a ridiculous question. But if people want to hear it, you know,
that's
the answer, I'll be happy to answer it. I have never invited anyone into my bed, ever. Children love me, I love them. They follow me, they want to be with me. But anybody can come in my bed. A child can come in my bed if they want.
I can say, sorry, I've seen this. I've seen it a lot. I've seen kids. I've seen him with children in the last year. I've seen it enough to where I can see how that can happen. It's, you know, I understand.
Isn't part of being an adult, and you have
Why
a
you
2-year-old
cutting her off,
child,
bitch?
2-year-old boy.
Yeah, let me just. Sorry.
Okay.
That's
I
right.
just wanted to
That's
say
right.
that I've seen these children. They don't let him go to the bathroom without running in there with him, and they won't let him out of their sight. So when he jumps in the bed, I'm even out. You know, they jump in the bed with him.
But isn't part of being an adult and loving children keeping children from ambiguous situations? And again, we're talking about over an intense period of time here. Would you let your son, when he grows up and is 12 years old, do that?
You know what? If I didn't know Michael, no way. But I happen to know who he is and what he is, and that makes it. You know, I know that he's not. You know, I know that he's not like that, and I know he has a thing for children. And I go ahead. Sorry.
I just wonder, is it over? You're going to make sure it doesn't happen again. I think this is really the key thing people want to know, that there are not going to be more of these sleepovers in which people have to wonder.
Nobody wonders when kids sleep over at my house.
But
Nobody
are they
wonders.
over? Are you going to watch out for it now?
Watch out for
just
what?
for the sake of the children and for everything
because
you've been through.
it's all moral and it's all pure. I don't even think that way. It's not what's in my heart.
So you'll
I would
do
never,
it again.
ever do what again?
I mean, you'll have a child sleeping
Of course.
Do
They
what again?
won't.
He's
Yes,
smart.
it's on the level of purity and love and just innocence, complete innocence. If you're talking about sex, and that's a nut. That's not me. Go to the guy down the street because it's not Michael Jackson.
That's right.
It's not what I'm interested in.
That's right.
Okay, but Elizabeth Taylor, talk to us a little bit about what she saw when she went over and talked to you in the middle of this, what she called agony. One of the things I think she was so angry about with us was that she said people always talk about one side of a person, they never give them credit for their accomplishments,
That's right.
particularly what they give to children and the money you give to children. That's how it starts.
When he's on tour, he goes to hospitals without the press following him, without anyone knowing. He'll get up in a disguise and do it, take his disguise off when he's there, and kids know, wow, it's Michael Jackson.
Was there no point at which you said to yourself, reading everything everybody had been reading, maybe this is true, maybe I completely didn't understand who he was?
No way.
That's right.
Absolutely not.
Never.
Never. I know Michael's heart. I know his mind and his soul. I'm not that insensitive, especially to him or people I love.
How did you decide to go to Singapore?
He was my friend. He was alone. He was totally alone. And he just, he needed help. Nothing in the world could have hurt him more. If it had been calculated, if they'd planned an assassination, they couldn't have done it any better. It almost broke his heart.
She says she recognized a friend turning to painkillers for escape.
He wasn't aware of what was happening. He was dulling his pain. But it really frightened me because I have been there. And I know how easy it is to get there when you're in mental or physical pain.
And he knew right away that he had to deal with it too.
Not right away. Not right away, but he knew.
There were some reports during this period, Michael, that it was such agony for you that you were actually suicidal. Is that true?
I was never suicidal. I love life too much to ever be suicidal. I'm resilient. I have rhinoceros skin. Never, ever suicidal.
My nigga. I gotta hear that again. I'm sorry, y'all.
Though,
Tell him, Mike.
And he knew right away that he had to
I gotta hear that
deal
again.
with it too.
Not right away.
Well, he knew.
Not right away, but he knew.
There were some reports during this period, Michael, that it was such agony for you that you were actually suicidal. Is that true?
I was never suicidal. I love life too much to ever be suicidal. I'm resilient. I have rhinoceros skin. Never, ever suicidal.
That's right,
Did it leave you, though,
heartbroken, but not suicidal?
Did it leave you changed completely? I've talked to you a little bit about what you're thinking about, where you want to live in the world. Did it change your view about living here? You're thinking about living someplace else?
I don't care to stay in America anymore, no. I don't care. I will always have Neverland, because I love Neverland. But I don't like
I'm very sensitive to the smog. So I can't have the smog. And I would like to go abroad. Matter of fact, I am.
You are? Where?
Yes. Oh, I haven't decided the exact place yet. Probably
Bitches
South
so
Africa.
None of your business, bitch.
Maybe Switzerland.
Lisa,
Can we just
in
change?
favor of it?
Wait, just go into the fact that we don't live in separate houses to start.
Yeah,
this
we don't
with?
even have. This is
ridiculous. Where are the cameras? Anyway, sorry.
No, jump in.
What do I feel about the overseas thing? I think that it's a nice place to visit. Yes, I would like to have a house over there. To be completely and utterly harassed beyond belief, but.
Before we move away from the last 2 years, we told you, because we want to, that we are going to show what is really your comment on those 2 years. And it is a video you have done with your sister Janet called Scream. And in it, you have some words for middle-aged people who can't follow these words. Okay. The words you'll hear will be about confusion, bashing, victimizing. Stop pressuring me, he says. Makes me want to scream. The last 2 years. We have some wedding video of the two of you, and I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here. If our director, Roger Goodman, wants to roll it in, we will take you there a year ago, right?
Yes.
Just about exactly.
I look like an idiot, I can tell you that.
You don't look like an idiot. You look more like a, no.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
We're watching it.
Tell us.
Oh, we're watching.
Tell us, we're watching here live.
Lisa Marie Presley here. Do you accept Michael Presley?
I do.
I do.
In the middle, he asks for his autograph.
Licenciado Hugo Francisco Álvarez Pérez. Licenciado Hugo Álvarez Pérez.
Fine, but now we're out of time.
Okay, you have the ring. Congratulations. Congratulations, and then we're going to do the ring. You do it? Yes. He does first. You put it on her first, okay? And when you put it, you say, with this ring, I do it.
This ring, I do it.
Right. And you do it the same thing. When you put this ring, as you say, with this ring, I do it.
So, I know that you, Lisa Marie, have wanted to talk about this. There are a lot of doubters about this marriage. I've heard that it's a Scientology plan. You are a member of the Church of Scientology, which is said to influence its members greatly, and that the husband you divorced was Scientologist, and he's still very much in your life, and this is all part of a calculation to get Michael and his money into the church.
Yeah, it's crap. I'm sorry. It's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'm not.
Right.
First of all, you can't get influenced by anything like that, and under a term of a marriage, I'm not going to marry somebody for any reason other than the fact that I fall in love with them. Period.
That's right.
Period. And they can eat it if they
That's
want
right.
to think anything.
She hood.
To put it succinct.
Yeah.
That's right.
What is it you love the
Her
most
whole
about
demeanor,
him?
her facial expression, and everything. She want to
to
that bitch, man.
What do I love
You know
most
what I mean?
about him? Everything. He's amazing. I really admire him. I respect him. I admire him. I'm in love with him. And no, we don't sleep in separate bedrooms.
That's
Thank
right.
you very much. And I love everything about him.
To finish up on that, though, are you a Scientologist? Or
No.
no? Plan to become one?
I believe in spirituality, and I believe in a higher source, such as God, but I'm not a Scientologist. I read everything. I like to read. I love to study.
You said you don't sleep in separate bedrooms, and I'm going to confess, okay, this is live TV, and I'm copping out right here because I didn't spend my life as a serious journalist to ask these kinds of questions. But I'm not oblivious to the fact that your fans had one question they most wanted to ask of you.
Do we have sex?
We have you.
She didn't ask. She didn't ask.
I won't ask. Okay.
You don't know what it was going to be.
Is that what you were going to ask?
Let's play just a minute or
Sorry.
two. Let's play one or two.
We want to know if you've done the thing.
Michael, I know that this is an intimate question, but are you having sex together with Lisa Marie?
Do you guys really love each other, or you're just doing this to satisfy the media?
Are you guys intimate?
The
Come on, my G.
Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event.
Why is that in your business, my
This
nigga?
summer is going to be
You know what I
epic.
Again,
I can't believe
it. This is about the skepticism.
Yes.
Crazy,
Yes.
son.
Yes.
And we have read in the papers
Hey,
that
Mary,
you
what you
are
think?
expecting a child.
We will be expecting a child. Now, when,
We're not gonna say when.
It's personal.
Except in the hands of the heavens.
That's
But
right.
not yet.
That's right,
Getting
Mike.
married out of convenience,
No.
that's really interesting.
That's
It's really
ridiculous.
interesting to me.
Yeah, that's too many
Wow.
questions.
Well, why wouldn't we have a lot in common? That's the question. Why? Why not?
Like we're faking this?
Like,
That
no,
sounds ridiculous
but you
to
can't
me.
live with somebody day to day. We're together all the time, first of all. Second thing, how can you fake that 24 hours a day with somebody, sleeping with somebody, waking up with somebody, having
It's the
to...
dumbest thing
He's
I've
running
ever
around the house, I'm running around the house, you were in our house, we have a normal house, we have a nanny, we have a maid, and we walk around, and he's either in the studio, I'm in the kitchen, we're running around like normal. I know it's hard to believe people.
You go shopping together.
We go shopping, we go out to dinner, we argue sometimes.
And
about what, may I say?
We also
No,
heard a report that maybe you were planning to adopt the children.
Oh, I would love to adopt children. I think that's something I've always wanted to do. But children of all races, Arab children, Jewish children, black children, just all races.
But Lisa's children,
I love Lisa's children, but it's been a mission.
Going to adopt, or
Pardon?
To adopt them, though.
Oh, I love
No,
her
you don't
children.
adopt
They're
them.
sweet.
But to adopt,
no.
Of course.
I think they have a biological father, and he's their...
I think they love me very much. I love them.
They do.
We have a lot of
But I've
fun.
never heard of that before, personally, of someone adopting someone's children while they're in a relationship with that person.
We're going to show you a film now created by Michael Jackson, and it is causing a furor in some movie theaters around this country. They say, among other things, that it is clearly modeled after Triumph of the Will, Leni Riefenstahl, a Nazi film
It's
with
not
Nazi
true. None of that's
imagery.
true. None of those things are true.
Did you watch that film before you did it?
I watch everything. I love movies. I love documentaries. Had nothing to do with that at all.
But there are people who keep saying, this is...
Yeah, bitch.
They look at it and say, this is...
Absolutely not.
You know
It's
what's...
nothing to do with politics or communism or fascism.
Well,
at all.
The critics have said that
Bitch,
it's
what
the
you just
most
said?
boldly vainglorious self-deification a pop singer ever undertook with a straight face.
Good. That's what I wanted.
For the controversy?
Yeah.
And
They fell into my trap.
For the people who say that...
I wanted everybody's attention.
But for the people who say those symbols matter,
No,
they're about suffering.
No. Symbols has nothing to do with that. It's not political. It's not fascist. It's not dogma. It's not, ideology and all of this stuff. It's pure, simple love. You don't see any tanks. You don't see any cannons. It's about love. It's people coming together.
About love. We're going to let everybody watch a bit.
Yeah, but it's art. It's art.
Okay.
The way a director would use a medium to create art.
Up. Here it comes.
One. Powerful Mike, man. Yeah. Oh my God.
As we said, we're going to clearly agree to disagree maybe on what this means to some people watching it. There's been another issue raised in a song you say, "Jew me, sue me," and some people are saying that that is anti-Semitic.
It's not anti-Semitic because I'm not a racist person. I could never be a racist. I love all races of people, from Arabs to Jewish people, like I said before, to blacks. But when I say Jew me, sue me, everybody do me, kick me, kike me, don't you black or white me, I'm talking about myself as the victim. My accountants and lawyers are Jewish. My 3 best friends are Jewish. David Geffen, Jeffrey Katzenberg, Steven Spielberg, Mike Milken. These are friends of mine. They're all Jewish. So how does that make sense? I was raised in a Jewish community.
I want to ask you both about something because it was the second most asked question by people on the street. And I know it's a sensitive issue for you, and you talked with Oprah about it. But somehow people still are not, they don't feel they've heard everything.
You don't feel you heard everything, bitch.
The whiteness of your skin, and that it's not somehow a choice on your part, along with the makeup, to be neither black or white, neither to look completely male, to be in the androgynous zone. I think they want to know, it is a decision on your part some way, the way you look. Where does it come from?
I think it creates itself. Nature.
He's an artist. He has every right, and he is constantly remodifying something or changing it or reconstructing it or, working on some imperfection that he thinks needs to be worked on. If he sees something he doesn't like, he changes it. Period. He re-sculpted himself. He's an artist.
I might want to put a red dot right there.
That's right.
But 2 eyes right here.
Do you wish you were the color you were again?
Do I wish I was the color? You have to ask nature that. I love black.
Do you wish you were that way?
I envy her because she can tan and I can't.
One more question I want to make sure I ask. Are you going to sing together?
No.
I would love to sing with you. Would you like to sing with me?
You don't sing?
I don't sing.
That's a hit right there.
I do sing, but that's not why I married Michael. I don't need that. That's ridiculous. If I wanted it, I'm not going to marry someone for a recording career, just to clear that up as well.
That's right, Michael. That's right.
What?
That's right.
Stop. And as our hour ends, I'd like to just ask each of you for a 1-sentence answer. Time's so short. Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Best question you ask all day.
I love what I'm doing now, and to do everything I can to help the children. And hello, Bobby Sherritt.
I just want people to know what they're dealing with before and understand that I'm not that we are not. The jokes, the degrading comments, all that kind of stuff, it's really irritating. So I didn't get to get into that. This is over already, but
we want to choke them.
All right.
Yeah,
so 5
that?
years.
Don't believe the garbage. All the tabloid junk. Don't read it. Don't listen to it. It's garbage. It's junk. It's stupid.
That's right, Mike.
Enough of it.
And tonight is over.
That's right.
My childhood. I'm searching for the
Give me no hug, Mike.
Yeah,
let's get that bitch in, man.
'Cause I've been looking around.
My childhood. Yeah.
Whether you're...
Yo, Yusuf, man, I hope you enjoyed this reaction, my G. Sorry it took me so long. Nothing but love and respect. You know what's up. All right, with that being said, on to the next subscriber now, y'all. 4-3-1. And I'm out of here. Thank you for your time, your likes, your patience, and all that. You know I appreciate that shit. Y'all already know what's up. All right? Shit, I'm gone. Yeah, I'm gone. That's right. That's right.
In the dark, nigga, all you hear is click-clack. I'ma say it once, nigga, did you get that? If it came out your mouth, you can't switch that. Niggas think they the man, till I hop out that black van. My face in the flag, cause over that bag, a stomach shot and make him sit in the bag. Your body in a glad bag. I hop in the Uber and stab. I got a reason to brag, because I just thumped through the cash. No time for the crib stats. Niggas talk fast till I run down on their ass with it. He was talking and I just lit it. I keep it with me, I ain't gotta get it. Anybody did any